Welcome to the meme museum of Affliction League. This league has been pretty crazy, and we have some pretty crazy items as well. We are starting, as always, with the honorable mentions. Then we have two tabs of two sets that are assembled, and then the big attractions at the end. So here we go. Honorable mentions. We have a little Venter corner here. This is a white Venter. It's just a tainted chaos bricked Venter, basically. We have a triple 50 res Venter. We have a bricked Venter that actually bricked into a Venter that's almost like a Venter. It has triple res, rarity, life, and it's only missing the quant, which cannot roll on rings, and that's replaced by energy shield. But this is like pretty close to an actual Venter. And then we have a 3 stat, which we've had 3 stats before. It's not that rare anymore, but everything is 15. It has 15% attribute, 15% base, 15 rarity, minus 15 fire res, minus 15 cold, and it has 15,015 monsters killed on it. So that's all the 15s. Okay, moving on. Gloves. Someone found this because it showed up on their filter while MFing. This is quant gloves that got bricked and mirrored, and someone noticed this on the ground. It's a Sadimas, a mirrored bricked Sadimas. Okay, there's a Watcher's Eye here. It's just a lot of unaffected by bleeding, shield ground, conductivity, and hinder. It's like a 4 immune weird Watcher's Eye. There's a Timeless Jewel. I don't know why this is here. This shouldn't really be here. It's just a base, a Timeless Jewel base. We can check out what it is. Eagle Delirium. Okay, this is a bow that someone was trying to craft a bow, and then they gave up, and then they made a crude bow instead, I think. It's fractured double damage, followed by the 3 worst damage rolls on a bow that a bow can roll. It's triple T10. And then it also has crit and attack speed and a Hinakora's luck. I don't know what would happen if we evolved it. I haven't checked. Nothing would happen, actually. Yes, it's an item level 3 bow. And then to go along with it, it's from a different person, I think. This is a Maloney's with point blank on it, which is pretty cool. You can make this by bricking like 20 Maloney's until you get 5 rare. Then you vendor that 5 rare, 5 to 1 to get a clean white base. Then you gilded fossil it, and then you trash the treasure omen, I don't know what the name is, that makes it unique, because this is the only unique quiver that with ornate quiver base. And then you lock corrupt it until the Vol Orb hits the Gilded Fossil implicit and becomes a point blank quiver. It's also double influenced, yes. So he not only had to slam it with an orb before crafting, an influenced Exalted Orb, also had to, it's Redeemer, and then he Awakener Orb the Shaper quiver on it also. It's actually a pretty cool quiver. Maybe this should be in the meme stab, not even here. This was pretty cool. Anyway, we were just crafting the wand, I think, and we had hit 40, 40, 40, and I was annulling and nothing else stayed on it, so we just kept it here, whatever. Here's a Death Witch was taken with crit call and call, so double calling strike, whatever. And then we have a Nighthold Talisman, which is supposed to have a socket, but it doesn't have a socket. However, it has 2 insane implicits, Max Stress and Extra Curse. Someone just gave this to me 5 minutes before the meme museum started. So this is the last minute entry. And then we have some jewels here. They are Whispering Glare. And they are all Whispering Glares. Every single jewel is exactly the same. There is 8 of them. Some sort of seed, you know, you could say like, oh, that was an explosion on the ground and they all dropped or whatever. I don't know, but you can search for these on trade. Yeah, or a rogue item. But I looked it up And they exist on trade also. This guy had one 2 months ago. It's the same exact item. This guy had one 22 days ago. Same exact item. This guy had one a month ago also. It's 3 different accounts. It's none of these people that gave this to me. So you could say like, okay, a couple on the ground that can be explained. Rog seed, whatever can be explained. But this is not a good enough jewel to list and sell. Why do all of these different people have that? Tujen loot table. Yeah. Rog something something. You think it's Tujen? They are the same name, the same base, and the same exact roles. Every single role, everything is the same. Maybe a Tujen window showed up for everyone and they bought it. I don't know. Yeah. We found another honorable mention. I fished it out of a dump tab because I didn't know why this is here. I was like, oh, it's just 2 endurance mods. Why is this here? But it's actually 4 Juggernaut mods. All 4 mods on this Death Wish was taken as Juggernaut, which is apparently rare. So there's that. So that was the honorable mentions. Moving on. Next tab is just a set from a Magic Finder who quit and bricked all of his gear. This used to be like a good MF helm. Windripper. I don't know who plays with Windripper. A Greed. Ascetic. A Quiver. A Headhunter. Double Venters bricked. Sademas bricked. Goldworms bricked. Just a bricked MF set. That's all. Quick showcase. Moving on to the fun stuff. This is the Fractured Zoo. We were looking for suggestions for End League projects years ago, and someone had an idea like, why don't you have a character with as much animals as possible? Whatever that means. And so Bazooka set out on a project to craft as many animals into an equipable gear set as possible. So count with me, guys. Dragonflies, lion pelt of the leopard. That's already 3. Okay. Harpy, reaper of the fox. That's 5. Okay. Let's do the flasks. Gazelle, dove, cheetah, owl, tortoise. That's 10. Remora is a fish. Oh, yes. Remora is a fish. So that's 11. Okay. Amulet. Monkey Twins Talisman of the Panther. And then I realized that this can still be anointed with an animal. So I looked up which animal is not yet in the set. And it's the aspect of the lynx. So I just anointed that. That's 14. Monkey Twins, it's 2 monkeys. I don't know. That doesn't count. No way. Okay, we'll keep it in mind, okay? We could have a +1 if we need a +1. We'll count the Monkey Twins as 2. Chest. Moths. Shark skin tunic of the polar bear. That's 3. So we are at 17. And we have a Viper strike in it. So that's Viper. 18. Moving on to the other weapon. Lamprey. Wait, what is a lamprey? Oh, that's an animal. Oh my god, it's a disgusting animal. Okay, sorry. So lampreys, eagle claw of the falcon. 21. Salamander on the 2 stone ring. 22. Penguin, leather belt of the penguin. 23. Magpie's coral ring of the gorilla. 25. Leech of leeching. Wait, where is the leeching? No, that doesn't count. Leeched. It's used as a verb. That doesn't count. Yes, magpie is a bird. We counted that. If shark skin counts, why not leeching? Multiple leeching. Okay, 25 plus 1. Okay, so we're up to 25. People are fighting for the leech justice. This item has multiple leeches. Multiple lines of leech. Even though leech is used as a verb, it has multiple leeches. And if we counted shark skin, then we should count the leeches. Okay, we'll call it a +2. Yeah, so 25 plus 2. Gloves. 25. Armadillo Hydra scale gauntlets of the Phoniks. That's another triple. That is very good. Okay, so 28 plus 2. And then finally, Elephant Dragon of the Seal. So 31 plus 2. Yes, we counted Phoniks. So this is 31 or 33 animals, depending on if you want to count the monkey twins, the leeches, and then you can take away the dragon and the hydra, because technically those are not existing animals, but I think we'll call it 33. We could also add the Herald of Agony. It does spawn a little scorpion, but I asked chat earlier, and they did not consider that an animal, so we dropped the Herald of Agony. Cobra Lash. Wait. Didn't we have Cobra already? Oh, we don't have Cobra. Okay, we're adding Cobra Lash instead of Herald of Agony. And the final count is 32.2. Sorry, 32 plus 2. No aspects. Yeah, we're out. Okay, we're moving on. Moving on. For the final tab. First item. It's a cold item. It's a very cold item. It has cold res, cold dot, increased cold damage, flat cold damage to spells, +1 level of cold scales gems, and cold res. That's it. Cold ge. Yes. Okay. Next item. That is a quad pen foil. It has Chaos Pen, Ellie Pen, Chaos Pen, and Fizz Pen. And that's the only mods on it. That's 4 Hunter mods. It dropped like this, the person said. It's just 4 pen. All Hunter. Maps. This is a Cowards Trial. I don't know if this should be here or honorable mentions. I couldn't really decide. But you know how Cowards Trial can roll a bunch of different lines? If you press Alt, this is all the things it can roll. It only rolled one of them. Whatever. Not that rare. Okay, more maps. This, however, is really fucking rare. Okay? This is a clean Tabula map. A new Valdo map, which was introduced this league. All the Valdo maps. And if you add a bunch of mods to it, the map is going to be more common. If you're adding mods that make the map harder, it's going to be more common. But this one, even though Tabula is kind of a common unique, this has no mods. The person who submitted this, just like on a Tabula, it has no mods. And so it's incredibly rare. It's rarer than some of the Mageblood maps. So, yeah. Speaking of Mageblood maps, I have one of these. This was from really early in the league. But this is probably the hardest. I haven't seen any newer ones. There might be harder ones now, but this is probably the hardest Mageblood map in the game. It's triple to quad ghosted. It has an ultimatum, which means it's uncompletable. I don't know if they fixed that bug. So there is an ultimatum encounter in this map, and it used to be that you couldn't complete them, and so you couldn't complete the entire map, and you didn't get the reward, because you have to clear 90% of the monsters of the map, and all rare and unique monsters. It also has, you do 10% less damage per item equipped. It also has the Feared, which remember is going to be quad ghosted Feared. And then you also need to melee damage them. You have to like stand next to the Feared. And it's also Void. So it's a scary one. This helm is a Royal Bergonet, which is supposed to be an armor base. And these items generally cannot roll energy shield mods. But this one did. And it fractured it on it. And it's also 3 wide socket. And it also has a +2 minion, which it just randomly rolled with. So that is a really weird drop. Like someone just found this as is. Oh, right. So it's the energy shield is an essence mod. So that's why it can roll on this item. Otherwise it couldn't. So it dropped from an essence mob, yeah. And then it also, yeah, fractured it on it, and it has +2 minion skill checks. This is really cursed. All right, should we do the Watcher's Eye corner? Here, we have triple unaffected, burning ground, chill ground, shock ground, triple leech, Watcher's Eye, energy shield with wrath, life with vitality, and life with anger. It's 3 leeches. I divined it. You can't all do 1.5 because the vitality leech is only to 1.2. So I divined it until it looks cool. And we actually hit perfect leech with anger and then 1.11 on the vitality and the wrath, which it can share. So the vitality only goes to 1.2. Okay, next, triple pen, Watcher's Eye, cold, fire, and lightning. It's also perfectly divined. I divined this before the stream. Actually, I got it pretty soon. I got it in like less than 100 divines. This is a rough divine, I think. Actually, let me count it because I got it really fast. It's like 6 times 6 times 6 times 3 times 3 times 3. It's... What? Oh god, this is a 1 in 5,800 divine. And I got really fucking lucky. Holy shit. Okay, next. Oh, this is where it should have been. It's the same one. So I got this, and then a few days later, someone traded me this. It's the same one, but shiny, and it's 6% on everything instead of 5%. Look at that. It's just straight up an upgrade. I think this one came from Ashathon. Here, we have some quant stuff. This is Gifts from Above, Diamond Ring. It's quant and rarity implicit. It dropped like this from the Feared for someone. And they thought like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. And then another quant item. 5 quant Omni with all res. It's a pretty nice double corrupt with utmost might. It should be beef probably. Here we have some information. So there is a challenge called the Peddlers Challenge. The Peddlers produce. You need to do a vendor recipe that yields boots with movement speed. These boots will have movement speed if I identify them. And I'm not just bluffing. I know that for a fact, unless someone scammed me. Look, it has movement speed. And so does this. Because they farmed some blue boots and then they vendored them 5-1 until you get an unidentified blue item. And if you don't have this challenge completed and then it completes, then you know that that unidentified item will in fact have movement speed when you identify it. So let's do it again so to see it wasn't a fluke. Look, it also has movement speed. Information hidden behind unID'd Hinakora's challenge. Yeah. Alright, we have a Megalomaniac with triple % life notables. Sublime Sensation, Life and ES, Militarism, Life and Armor, and Natural Vigor, Life and Evasion. 3 different types of defenses. Well, all 4 different types of defenses combined in one Megalomaniac. What about this belt? Oh, speaking of the defenses, here is an Energy Shield, Armor, Evasion, triple synth belt. 9, 10, 11 on ID'd. We won't ID this one. This chest has 4 crafted mods because it has the can have 1 additional crafted mod on it and also multi-modded. Armor during soul gain prevention. Item drops on death if equipped by Animate Guardian. and some 7 implicits, of course. Glyph check. This just looks really cursed. A ritual vessel that has Atsiri, Shaper, Chayula, Elder, and the Synth Boss in the vessel. The entire Feared is packed into this ritual vessel. Someone kited the Feared or played Valdo maps until the Feared spawned in a ritual area on the Valdo map and then killed them in the ritual and then killed them again with the ritual and then banked it for this vessel to show off. We will not run this, no. In fact, I will give this back to him after the meme museum. He said he couldn't get another one. It's really hard to get, so he wants it back. All right. Ring. Calandra's Touch with Zealotry on the implicit. A corrupted mirrored Calandra ring. Now, as most of you know, the implicits on the Calandra ring don't work because it's actually mirroring your other ring. So whatever your other ring has will work. So if you have a Calandra ring with added spell damage on the implicit or something, it doesn't work. However, the Zealotry that I otherwise wouldn't have access to, as you can see, there's no Zealotry here. Now there is. This is a level 23 Zealotry that I have on my Calandra's Touch that's supposed to be mirroring this ring, but it's also working. So there are some implicits, like the Grand Aura, that actually work on a Calandra's Touch, and some that don't. Today I learned, or, you know, whenever I got this, I learned. Next league patch notes. We'll see about that. Next. That which was taken. Giga anti-reflect that which was taken. Cannot take reflected elemental damage. Cannot take reflected physical damage. Damage from critical strikes cannot be reflected. Triple anti-reflect. And then some hinder. It's whatever. Now we have some curse stuff in the middle here. Start with this one. This is Nico's Memory of Tormented Souls. We used to run this with Bazooka and destroyed the market, if you remember that. And I saved this one because this one dropped mirrored. These are really rare. They are not MFable. So whenever they drop mirrored, that's going to be a really rare outcome. And then this Charged Compass, which is also mirrored. These drop from Valdo maps now. And they didn't exist before. I mean, it's a currency item kind of that is mirrored. Not really a currency item, but it's like it's some weird item. You can use this. It functions. Yeah, I could put this on my Atlas. And also, here's a Rift Key for Diablo 3 and the mirrored Rift Key. Also, mirrored invitations, I think, is the first time that they can drop. I mean, you can mirror them, of course, and then you have a mirrored copy, but this actually just dropped with this other Rift Key. So that's another mirrored item. And here's another cursed mirrored item. It's a mirrored, corrupted, fractured Abyssal Jewel, which I don't even know how these drop like this, because they drop corrupted from Abyssal Troves if you have the node, but then they drop with 5 to 6 nodes. It's some strong box, but then why do strong box drop an Abyss item like tier 1, 2, 3? I don't know. And it also has a corrupted implicit, so whenever it got bricked, whenever it, you know, vauled, it also replaced the implicit, or also got a corrupted implicit. It's eye level 85. Here's another map. It's a Conqueror Vaal Temple. Pro Games gave this to me. I don't know how rare this is, but I have never seen it before. Conqueror maps are supposed to be, you know, just regular maps on the Atlas. And I mean, Vaal Temple is kind of on the Atlas, but it has no influence. So if you look at the top, it's not an influenced map. I don't know if it works, but I don't want to touch it. I'll give it back. All right. Venter. It's a 2-stat Venter. 2-stat Venters are really rare. We've had one before in the Crucible League, but this one is a little special. It's 11 times 2, 22 times 2, 44 times 2, 88 Incubator, Blaze of Glory. So I have a Venter spreadsheet just to illustrate how rare like 1-stat or 2-stat Venters are. So there's 45 billion different Venters, right? Like any Venter is a 1 in 45 billion. And then 6 stats are 40 billion of those. 5 stats are 5 billion. 4 stats are 217 million. 3 stats are 5 million. This is what people link me most of the time. Like during the league, like, you know, 3 weeks in, it's like someone links me a 3-stat venter. Like, oh, meme museum, maybe? There's 5 million different 3-stat venters. It's pretty common, right? I mean, it's not common, but as opposed to that, 2 stats are 60,000. Only 60,000 of the total 45 billion venter is gonna be a 2-stat. And we've already had 2 of those, okay? But then the 1 stat, there is only 385 of those. And there is only 1 0 stat. So in order to get a 1 stat, on average, right? It's about 157 times more common to get a 2 stat than a 1 stat. And we've had 2 of these. So we need another 150 on average before we see a 1 stat. And then the 0 stat is 60,000 times more rare than this. All right, moving on to this cursed pair of gloves here. Did you guys know that corrupting blood cannot be inflicted on you, can be on gloves? Because I didn't. I guess I don't delve a lot. This is a delve mod, and it fractured on this gloves, and it's also corrupted with 1 searing exarch implicit and 1 corrupted implicit. It's just a really cursed looking item. Delvers knew this, of course. Okay, now the final stuff down here in the corner, the precursors. We found some of these, and Bazooka found some of them on the trade site. So this is 6 triple weird precursors. This is triple charge on kill, endurance frenzy power, nice and clean. This one is triple 15% chance that if you would gain an endurance power or frenzy charge, you get the maximum instead. So 3 of that roll. This one is triple regen per charge. This is triple duration, endurance frenzy power charge, all duration, different charges. This one is triple flat damage per charge, lightning, cold, and fire. And finally, the triple movement speed, 1 for each charge. And they're all shiny. They look really nice. And finally, the maps, which represent this league, the crazy MF league, Insane Abyss. Someone linked me this map first. It was a Vaal Temple. And I was like, oh my god, Insane Abyss, that's a funny name. We should save that. And then we thought, can we do better? And then there was another one, Insane Abyss. It's mirrored and corrupted, but it doesn't have the +2 proj. So I was like, can we do even better? And I wanted to roll it on a Jungle Valley because that's the big meta map. So this is Insane Spires. Wait, sorry, this has the 2 proj? Oh, okay, sorry. This one has the 2 proj, my bad. And then Jungle Valley, this has fractured 2 proj and increased number of rare monsters, and it's fully delirious. But Jungle Valley cannot roll Insane Abyss. It doesn't have the Abyss on the suffix names. I chaos spammed thousands of chaos, and I came to the conclusion that it just simply cannot roll. But it can roll Spires, which is also insane this league, the Insane Spires. It's also has 30% quality, yes. However, finally, Burial Chambers can roll the Abyss. So we have Insane Abyss, Burial Chambers, 5 Deli. It also has the implicit, contains 2 additional Abyss. And then it also has the 2 proj and the 30% increased number of rare monsters. So that is an actual Insane Abyss. 62% quant with 2 mods. 100 div map. And then, yeah, I put a Hinakoras on it. That's it for the Insane Abyss League, for the Affliction League. Hope you guys enjoyed the meme museum. See you in the next one.